Check it out, Porsche 928 GTS. One of the last of the line. Look at that thing. Isn't it beautiful in black? So I'm actually in the UAE and I'm working on the 1000 Miglia Experience UAE, which is basically a road rally of classic cars. And as you can see a sticker on the door on there, it says media. And I've been working with the media team to sort of look after the media that are attending this. And the car that I've been given to do this work in is this car. So technically I'm not supposed to be reviewing the car, but you know me, can't resist. So I've done a quick drive review of the car. Go check it out. So no, it's not a full review, but just to give you sort of an impression of what it's like to be driving around these incredible roads in the UAE in a black Porsche 928 GTS.
A brown car guy. Brown car guy.
So here I am in the Porsche 928 GTS that I've been driving around today as part of the Miglia Experience UAE, or the 1000 Miglia Experience UAE. So what's it like to drive? I mean, to be honest, it is exactly as you would expect it to be. It's a big, comfy Grand Tourer that performs well at speed. Not a car that you want to check around too much, but quite comfy as well, actually. This is the thing about these. Look at this. I mean, here we go into this corner, right? And it's like, it's a car that you're a little bit tentative with, a little bit of understeer, you know, as you're just holding it on this corner around this slight bend, and then let's punch it out of here onto a straight. Oh, kick down there, and you can hear the sound, you hear the engine. That's great. But you know, the tremendous thing about these cars, and I think more so than newer cars, is something you realize, is the ride is so much better. You know, because it's so composed, it's not picking up any rubbish from the street, it's keeping it very smooth, it's keeping it very straight, level. At the same time, it holds the body composure is not bad, but at the same time, it's giving me a very comfy ride. It's actually quite comfortable, you know, even at speed or even at slow speed. Even though speed bumps, you have to be careful, you have to take it a little bit slow, but it's generally fine, not really a problem. The steering's actually quite weighty in this thing. It's power assisted, of course, but there's a heft to it, you know you are helming a 928. I mean, there's no question about that. All the controls in this, you know, even from the gear lever, they all have a sort of weightiness to them, a heft to them, a substance to them that tells you that you're in something that is of substance, you know. And that's quite reassuring. It's quite nice. Seating position is great. I'm so comfortable in this, even with my, you know, long legs and 6'1", 6'2" frame. I actually feel quite well in this. I've been in this car for a couple of hours. Well, actually more than a few hours now, actually, because we've driven from Dubai out to Hatta, and now we're coming in. This great to drive these old roads again that I used to drive on so much back 6 years before. But we're doing really well. The car is smooth. The performance is there. This has got AC, and the AC is doing really. In fact, I have to keep turning it down because I get really cold. You know, so it's actually really, really good. What else we got? Electric windows. This one's fine. That one's a bit sticky, so I'm avoiding using that one too much. There are rattles and squeaks in it. Gotta give you that much. There's rattles and squeaks in it, and you can hear them. And this is the thing about you know, these cars, but particularly this one. There's quite a bit, you know, that you can hear some squeaking and flexing and some rattles and stuff in it. So you are getting that. But other than that, feels fairly solid. You know, it feels like it's been obviously well put together, as you'd expect of a German car of this vintage. And you know, and the handling, like I said, it's, you know, like, it's not, as you saw back there, pretty smooth, pretty, you know, it's not a car you want to check around, but it'll do the business, not an issue whatsoever. Performance just takes a while. It's not as quick as you'd expect it to be, but there is a drama to it. You know, there is sound, there is theatre to that. It takes a while for it to kick down. You know, you got 2, 3, but I'm just leaving it in drive. I mean, there's no such thing as sports mode in these things, right? So when it kicks down, then yeah, then it starts to move, starts to go. But it takes a little while, you know, for that to happen. It's not like instantaneous. But when it picks up speed, then yeah, it's like you can see that it's a stormer. It's like thunder. But what a great thing! It sounds fantastic, feels fantastic, and yeah, there's a reason why Porsche 928s were really cool. And that reason is because they're really good. I mean, this is the Kalba road that we're on right now. And again, one of my favorite driving roads, particularly for GTs, for high-speed GTs. And it's a smooth road, but with a few bends, high-speed bends in it. And it's just performing exactly as it is. There's a bit of wind noise, as you can see, but it's just exactly as you'd expect it to perform. It's so good. Now the only thing with these cars, obviously, is that you have to nurse them a little bit, I should say. You know, because they are old, and like I said, you know, you can have issues with them. And this one has had a few warning lights come up, but they all seem to reset themselves now. So it's one of those things where intermittently, you know, old cars seem to show that they have, and then they go, oh, actually, no, we're fine. And it's just doing that sort of thing today. So earlier today, it slightly worried me a little bit with some warning lights, but right now, it's been absolutely solid, actually. There's nothing at all now showing. So it's either kind of reset, you know, because it's like sensors and stuff. It's maybe kind of reset itself after sitting for a while or something like that, but it seems to be okay now. So there you go. I mean, there's a quick drive, a quick impression of this wonderful Porsche 928 GTS. And the experience is as good as you would imagine, as you would expect, and as you would want it to be. It may not be for everybody, because I've been following a pretty hardcore 911 up ahead. That's a different kind of driving experience. But you know, this one, you know, if you like to go very quickly but in comfort with a bit of refinement and in classic cool style, this one's not bad at all. Let me know what you think of it in the comments, and I'll catch you on the next video. And before we go, Peter, you've been very kind, because you had some really nice things to say about something I'd written.
Yeah, you freaked me out a little bit. Like when I met you, obviously you're a jack of all trades and you can talk about anything. But you said, Pete, I'd like you to read this story. And the story is called Standout. And I started reading it. I'm actually getting, this sounds weird, but I'm getting chills, because it was like he lived in the car, because he described different things that these cars, if you're used to them, they do. They all have idiosyncrasies, but he hit every nail on the head in terms of the idiosyncrasies of the car, how they act and how they perform. And I felt like I was driving the car with his character. Phenomenal. He's got a wonderful book called Quantum Races, which is a group of his short stories. The guy writes brilliantly. I promise you, I'm not just saying it. The book is worth the price just for Standout. Wonderful, wonderful book.
Peter, thank you. It means a lot. It means a lot coming from you. I mean, you know your Mustangs.
I try, but you hit the nail on the head. I really enjoyed reading it, and thank you.
Shout out time, guys. Thank you so much. Hey, if you enjoy my content, why not get involved? Buy me a coffee. You can do that at either of these links. Or if you're watching on YouTube, buy me a thanks or take out a membership. It all helps. It really does.